Wow, what a result! Leyton Orient 1, Newport County 2. A 2-1 away victory for the Port in what was on paper an unbelievably tough game against top of the table Leyton Orient, unbeaten Leyton Orient at Brisbane Road. What a result. Just what a result from County to come out of that with a win. Absolutely unbelievable. One thing I will say before we get into this match reaction is Ribery out. Still want the manager gone. So, just because we've gone and beat Leyton Orient, I'm not going to be waving my flag singing, James Ribery's Amber Army. That's not the case. I still do think that he's not good enough to make us consistent. So I still do want him gone. Whether you may say, that's overreacting or that's sticking by my guns. That is sticking by my guns, saying that he's not good enough to be a long-term manager for us. I just wanted to get that in before we, get further into the show. I just didn't want anyone to be thinking, oh, look at him. He's singing James Ribery's Amber Army now. He's James Ribery and he's a flip-flop. No, still want the manager gone. Still want him gone. But that was just a nice feeling to see us win a game of football. It was just a really nice feeling. And, we aren't going to get into the actual, stats and figures and stuff like that. But first of all, let's just sit down and relax because we've won a game of football and we're nowhere near, in terms of position-wise, we're nowhere near that bottom two. I think we've got up to 15th in the league now. But can we just celebrate a win? Like last week, Forest Green Rovers and Barrow, all of the games that I've done a match reaction for, we've lost. And I've been somber. Well, Carlisle didn't lose, but it felt like a loss, if you know what I mean. All of them, we were just annoyed, negative, feeling down in the dumps. But can we just celebrate a win? That's the most important thing. We've won a game of football. We've beat a very, very good Leyton Orient side. Their first defeat of the season. Let's just soak it in. Let's just soak it in. What a game of football. Got to give him his dues where it is due. You've got credit where it's due, sorry. You have got to do that. I know me, Luke, I can see in the chat, William, I know Sam's messing around, but mostly everyone is still saying, yeah, not good enough. Still want him gone. I did say after Carlisle that I want him gone after Leyton Orient if he's going to do it. I don't want him to have the Leyton Orient game and then if he loses that, sack him. I think that does give him an extra couple of games. I know Newport fans won't want to hear that, but it will give him a few extra games. I think that win today will give him Swindon and Rochdale at least. If we lose at Swindon, he's not getting the sack. If we lose at Swindon and against Rochdale, then it's back on the, get him out train from most of the fans. I'm not going to get off that train now. I think the ship's done with James Ribery at Newport for me. In terms of the game, I thought first 15 minutes, they were so good. You could see how good they are. They were winning everything. They were getting to every, sort of 50-50. I will get into the comments in a minute. I will get into the comments in a minute and open up the lines and stuff like that. But I just want to talk about the game. First 15 minutes, I thought they were all over us. They were spraying the ball around. They were sort of looking for that overlap, using their wing backs very well, which they've done all game. And I like the way Richie Wellens plays it. If you pass the ball there, someone's got to be overlapping. Someone's got to be interchanging. It's very, very proactive. And that's exactly what Leyton Orient done. They were proactive. You saw the midfielder pick up the ball, and then you saw the defender into that midfield position. If the wing-back picked up the ball, the midfielder would drop into the wing-back position. It was just so good to watch in that first 15 minutes of the game. Then the goal came. A lovely ball down the right-hand side. Will Evans, I can't remember who it was, actually. I think it might have been Will Evans. But the ball went out for a corner, which then got taken by Adam Lewis, and it was a great header from Will Evans. A really great header from Will Evans to plant it in to the left top hand corner. And at that point, I was trying to pinch myself because we go 1-0 up, and I'm like, oh my God, this might actually happen. We might be getting a victory here. And I thought, right, let's go and kick on. And we did. We kicked on straight away. As soon as we scored that goal, we were faster to everything. We were winning everything. Ball gets played into Will Evans. Will Evans beats the goalkeeper to the ball. Lawrence Vigouroux, who I still stand by, one of the best keepers in the league, Lawrence Vigouroux, brings down Will Evans. Penalty Newport. Up steps Omar Bogle. Omar Bogle scores yet again from the spot to double our lead inside 26 minutes. And at this point, now I'm thinking, oh my God, like surely we can't bottle this. Surely we can't lose this from here. And then second half, we come out. He makes a change, bringing on Robbie Wilmot for Hayden Lindley. I was a bit concerned about that substitution. I thought we were dominating the play well. Thought Hayden Lindley, I'll get onto it in the player ratings, but Hayden Lindley had a fantastic game for me today. He was excellent. He was just so on it. He was so active, and I really did like the way in which he played in that midfield. So he brought on Hayden Lindley. He took off Hayden Lindley, for Robbie Wilmot. They made a double substitution, bringing on Aaron Drinan and Jordan Brown, I think it was. Yeah, Jordan Brown. And then I was like, right, okay, Aaron Drinan is on as a fantastic footballer. I was worried when he came on, and I was right to be worried, as I'll explain in a minute. Then Will Evans went off injured for Lewis Collins, which I'm praying Will Evans is fine. Obviously, we will hear from James Rowberry very shortly, but I'm just praying, absolute praying that Will Evans is not injured for a long period of time. So Lewis Collins come on for Will Evans, and 2 minutes later from that substitution, Aaron Drinan with a goal. I literally said, as soon as he came on, Aaron Drinan will cause us problems. Played for Ipswich, been a very good player for Leyton Orient, and he makes it 2-1 to Newport. And at that point, I'm like, shit, absolutely shit, because I know exactly what we're capable of. We've done it against Carlisle last week, went 1-0 up, and we let Carlisle back into the game. We let Leyton Orient back into the game today, but for 36 minutes plus 5 or 6 of added time, we just closed Leyton Orient out. They had so many chances. They were constantly constantly knocking at the door, we'll just say. Knocking at the door constantly in that second half to try and get the equaliser. And we closed them out. A defensive, solid performance closed them out. We did make a couple of changes in the last 20 minutes as well. Cameron Norman came on for Aaron Wildig, and we just went ultimate defensive. And then Priestley Farquharson went off for Declan Drysdale in a bit of a knock. So there's a couple of knocks there, which hopefully James Rowberry can sort of elaborate on in terms of how long those injuries may be to Will Evans and Farquharson. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to hear from the manager in terms of both of those injuries. So, going to read some of your comments now, guys, and then we will get into reading the stats and then the player ratings, where you can get involved for the player rating. So you can give me who you think deserves to be in what player rating. So let's start from the start. Jay says, what a massive 3 points for Newport. Will admit I was shocked at the result. Sam, of course, Rowberry in. Luke Johnson, great mate of the channel, he says, great day for me. County winning, West Ham currently winning, happy days. Rowberry out still. Yes, thank you. Good win for Cheltenham today. Oh, you'll have to let me know who Cheltenham beat today, YouTube account. William says, one win doesn't mean Rowberry's still in. Agree with you, saying get him out. Yeah, 100% agree. I'm off now, mate, to watch the second half of the West Ham game, then off to Rodney Parade for the Dragons. Have a good night. Cheers, Luke. I know you're obviously not in the chat anymore, but thanks for dropping in and giving your thoughts. Obviously, we won't be getting Luke on at the end of the stream now because he's going to be off at Rodney Parade. William says, if he goes, wouldn't feel right if we didn't bring in a Welsh manager, since we had a Welsh manager for the past years and in our chant LA. Yeah, that's going to be a weird one. Obviously, we'll have to change that chant up a little bit. But to be honest, William, I know, I respect your opinion. I respect your comment. But I don't want to say this to sound really rude, but with all due respect, I the more thing I'm worried about is getting the manager gone rather than the chance and stuff like that. So look, I agree with you in terms of what are we going to do. It'll be a bit awkward, but that's the last of my worries really when it comes to James Rowberry. If I'm brutally honest, I'm not trying to sound rude or anything, but I'm more worried about who we get in as a manager rather than what chant they're going to have, if that makes sense. That will fill your Newport with confidence after that win. I think you'll stay up. I didn't think we were ever going to go down, to be honest, Jade. I don't think relegation was realistically. We were sleepwalking ourselves into a relegation battle after the Grimsby game, after the Barrow game, after the Carlisle game, of just failing to pick up points, or very minimal points in terms of the Carlisle game. But I just never thought there would be in a relegation battle, if I'm truthfully and brutally honest. Chris says, wow, what a win, mate. Well done. I said to you in my stream, anything can happen. You did. You did. Fair play. And Riley says, I'm struggling a bit being a Walsall fan, but great result for Newport today. Yeah, Walsall, after that start to the season, when you were singing we're top of the league, we're above you now, Riley, mate. No, it's crazy how football can change. Second game of the season, Walsall beat Newport. They're singing, we are top of the league. 10 games later, we're above you. Mental. Absolutely mental. Right, to get into the stats then, this is where it gets to the actual, facts of the game. This is nothing to do with opinion. This is just what happened. In terms of possession, 73% possession for Leyton Orient. We're only 27% for Newport. 20 Leyton Orient shots compared to our 5. They had 5 of their 20 on target. We have 2 of our 5 on target. So a better conversion rate from us, to be fair. In terms of big chances, they had 2 big chances and... both had 1 big chance, sorry. In terms of the passing, 529 compared to 210 of ours. Possession lost. They did lose possession more than us, 202 times compared to our 165. And in terms of the aerial duels won, we won more duels than they won more aerial duels. Dribbling 50%. Tackles 19-8. Interception 11-9. Clearances 44-6. We had to make 44 clearances. That's not actually a good stat, though, is it? To be fair, they had to make 44 clearances. But yeah, that is a brief look at the stats. I will go on to the player ratings now. What I will say is I have got something a little bit different for the player ratings. It's a tier maker, so I'm hoping you guys do like it. So I've got obviously 10 all the way to 1. I've not put 0 on the player ratings because if anyone gets a 0, I'll be calling them out massively. So you can see here, very, very smallly, I must admit, that we have got... I'll remove this, actually. I'll remove that. We have got here the players. So we've got all the players from the game, starting with, obviously, Nick Townsend, all the way through to the bench, and then to James Rowberry, the manager, as well. So like I said, make sure to get your opinions on the player ratings as well in the chat. And let me know, do you like this new sort of format for the player ratings? Having the players at the bottom and then just dragging them onto the appropriate positions, obviously, for what rating I'm going to give them. So let's just get straight into that. Nick Townsend. Nick Townsend made a few very good saves. I must admit, he made some, not world-class saves, but, he was commanding his area. I thought a lot better than what he did, or what he has done, sorry. I thought at times he was making some very good saves and really keeping Leyton Orient out. The goal, I don't think he could do much about it. I'll probably watch it again and maybe find a fault in it, but the goal it's just a good goal from Aaron Drennan, to be fair. I don't think there's much that the goalkeeper can be sort of dampened down for. So for Nick Townsend, I'd probably go with an average 6 for Townsend, obviously not a 5. An average 6. I didn't think there was anything particularly unbelievable that really stood out from his performance, but I wouldn't say that it was, a man of the match performance. So yeah, I'd give Nick Townsend a 6 out of 10. Moving on to James Clark. Again, I'm going to go 6 out of 10 for Clarkey. I thought interceptions was good, getting his body on the line, clearing things when they was getting whipped into the box. One thing that I keep saying about James Clark, he's not got the pace that many other centre-backs may have, but what he does have is the defensive awareness, the awareness to know that he's not got the pace for that ball in behind. So if he positions himself better, then he doesn't have to worry about the pace in behind because he's already going to be in that position for when that ball gets to him. And again, I thought it was an average performance from James Clark. Nothing again unbelievable, but it was one of those where you just expect that from him. Mickey Dimitro, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. Thought Dimitro was absolutely brilliant. Again, a 7 out of 10 from Mickey Dimitro is like a 10 out of 10 from anyone else. I think, he's just so consistent. He never really gave them, I wouldn't say never really gave him a chance, but when the ball got played to him, he's just so composed on the ball, just so relaxed. And he just looks so confident on the ball. I think he's definitely our best player in terms of what he gives to the team. I know obviously Bogle scores goals, Will Evans and stuff like that. But in terms of can you rely on Mickey Dimitro every game? Absolutely. You can rely on him every single game. He'll be there with a 7 or 8 out of 10. No matter what. He's just Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable. I'd give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he was very good. In contention for man of the match, but I've not got him as man of the match for me. Priestley Farquharson, again, a 6 out of 10. A few sloppy things in the game, a couple of passes, puts it out of play, but overall, when you look at his performance, I thought at times he was, really starting to progress as a centre-back. We've moaned about Priestley Farquharson not being progressive as a centre-back and, sort of dropping back way too deep. But today I thought he was definitely stepping up a lot further forward. He's got the pace that Mickey Dimitro and James Clark don't have, which I think allows him to step up because he's got the pace for the ball in behind. I thought it was an okay performance. A lot of people will give, these players, if they win, 7, 8 out of 10. If they lose, 3 or 4s. But I just thought we were okay today. We weren't excellent. Hence, I don't know, hence the title, how have we won that game? Because I don't know. I really don't know how we did win the game, but we won it because we were grit, desire, and determination. So, I'd give a 6 out of 10, for Priestley Farquharson. Aaron Lewis, again, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10 for Aaron Lewis. Again, he's trying. I think he was playing right wing back today. I think he's definitely preferred as a left wing back. I think if he was on the left hand side and maybe Lewis was on Adam Lewis was on the right, he may have had a better game. Again, it was just an average performance. I don't think you can, really dampen someone for being average. That means they're not doing anything excellent, but that means they're not, messing up or anything or, having a howler. So I'd definitely give Aaron Lewis a 6. He's going forward a lot more and he's tracking back a lot more, which is good. When you've got a wing back that don't track back, you're going to start to create problems. And I thought he was, I thought he was very good going forward. Defensively, he was good as well. Every time they come forward down that right hand side, he was, showing them to the line. He was pushing them out basically, and forcing them to, win throw-ins and free kicks and corners and stuff like that. So I thought he was pretty good. Moving on to Hayden Lindley. Now, I feel sorry for Hayden Lindley because I thought he was very, very good in that first half. The first half was probably the best half in terms of how we kept the ball. We kept the ball a lot more in the first half. And I think Hayden Lindley, along with Mariah Welsh and Aaron Wildig, were massive and instrumental parts to keeping hold of the ball. And I was a bit shocked that he went off. I do actually feel sorry for him for getting taken off. I don't think that was justified. He was having a good game. He wasn't doing anything stupid. He wasn't, giving the ball away. When he got the ball, he was looking after it. He was playing it to the likes of Mariah Welsh and to the likes of Will Evans and really getting us, progressively up the pitch. Like I said, I do feel sorry for him that he went off. I think if he stayed on the pitch a bit longer, he may have got a 7 because he was looking like he was going to have a man of the match performance with the way he was playing. But purely because of the, only 45 minutes, I'm going to have to give him a 6. But I feel bad because he probably should have had a lot more minutes on the pitch, let's be honest. Newport need to kick on now and try and make it back-to-back wins. Swindon away on Tuesday night is going to be a tough, tough game. What a win for County. Rowbury in. Absolutely not. Thanks for tuning in, Reese, but Rowbury's still out for me. I'm not going to change my mind now. That ship has sailed, unfortunately. Moving on to Aaron Wildig. Again, a 6 out of 10 for Wildig. I don't know what Aaron Wildig's flaws are. I never see a man of the match performance from Aaron Wildig, but I never see a awful performance. I see this 6 out of 10 pretty much every single game he plays. You can see why he's got, you know, this experience at this league. Got promoted with Morecambe, obviously when they beat us. Knows the league, has probably played against Leyton Orient and some of those midfielders for, 2, 3, 4 seasons. Knows exactly how to get the job done in League Two. Very good signing. Very good signing this season. I think he's had injuries at the start of the season, but once he plays week in, week out, we're going to get the best out of Aaron Wildig. And today, the midfield were excellent, I think the midfield were very, very good today. And Aaron Wildig was a massive part in that, winning the ball. When he wins the ball, he doesn't try and be, over the top and play a 40-yard ball. He knows what his capabilities is. He wins the ball, gives it to Mariah Welsh. Wins the ball, gives it to Will Evans. He knows exactly who is better on the ball than him. If obviously he's got the ball and he receives it and Matty Dolan is in front of him or whatever it may be, he might obviously try a different pass if he doesn't trust the person that he's passing it to. But in terms of 90% of the time, he makes the right decision. And today, again, didn't see anything ridiculously bad from him, but I think he is just missing that extra bit to his game. As a CDM or as a centre midfielder, it's always hard to judge because he is missing a little bit of creativity in his game, but is that really the type of player he is? I'm not too sure. So it's a tough one for Wildig, but I'll give him a 6 out of 10. This boy is absolutely special. Nathan Mariah Welsh. What a special footballer. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Again, he is just unbelievable. He is the most tenacious, the most creative, and the most defensive midfielder all in one. He is, I'm telling you what, I've said this about a few loan players that we've had. I said it about Azaz. I said it about Ben White. I said it about Antoine Semenyo. I'm saying it about Nathan Mariah Welsh. Watch out for him because he will be a Premier League starter in the next 5 years. He is unbelievable. Yes, he's doing it in League Two, but he's winning the ball back. He's chasing everything. He's tracking back. He's then winning the ball back and then playing it forward. He's not dilly-dallying on the ball. He's winning it. Where can I pass it to? Where can I give it? And he is just so comfortable on the ball. You see him, he literally waits. He done it a few times today. He waited for Darren Prattley to get near him, and then he just knocked the ball around the corner. It's just that little bit of flair that he has it to his game, and a little bit of, just intelligence that he has is just second to none at the moment. Someone mentioned it in the watch-along that he's the new Finn Azaz. I'll tell you what, you might not be wrong. You might not be wrong, whoever. I think it was Ethan who said that. You might not be wrong because he looks absolutely insane. And today, again, he's done this all season since he's played 6 or 7s or 8s out of 10. His debut, his full start as when he played, I think it may have been Tranmere, was just man of the match performance. Very good player. Very, very good player, Nathan Mariah Welsh. Moving on to Adam Lewis. Now, this is a difficult one. I'm going to have to put him in 7, and I will explain why I've put him in 7, because I would probably say he's a 6.5. I think he was just better than Aaron Lewis, but obviously I'm not going to do 0.5s. I'm just going to do 1 to 10, and I think that, just being above Aaron Lewis is a fair opinion to make. I thought that he was, getting forward. He was getting back, but the deliveries that he's got, oh my God, Liverpool fans, Adam Lewis will be a Liverpool player in some capacity, whether it's just a squad player, whether it's a fringe player, or whether he gets proper game time for Liverpool in the future. I think he will play games for Liverpool. He's so progressive as a wing back. I think he plays more as a midfielder with the way he plays in terms of his main attributes. But, again, he was excellent today. He was pushing forward. Defensively, he was good as well. Got an assist as well for Will Evans' goal from the corner. Very good corner, whipped in. Yeah, it was just very good from Adam Lewis. So yeah, I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Bogle, I think Bogle struggled today personally. I think Omar struggled a little bit. I don't know what it was with Bogle today. He had obviously scored his goal, took his goal really well from the penalty spot. Good penalty, good finish from Bogues. I just don't know what it was. It just felt a bit different today with Bogle. The balls into him were a bit lackluster. The service was a bit sort of naff, and I just wanted to see more from Bogues. Look, he scored his goal, so don't get me wrong. Another goal to his tally is great stuff and exactly what we want to see. But I just think he missed a little bit today from his game, and maybe that was down to how defensively good Leyton Orient were, apart from obviously the corner and obviously Lawrence Vigouroux bringing down Will Evans for the penalty. But yeah, it's just I don't know with Bogle. Like I said, I'm going to give him a 6, but there will be fans that will say 7 or 8. I just don't think he was near the few above him. Moving on to Will Evans. Now, I'm going to give my man of the match away. 8 out of 10 for Will Evans. Oh my God, what a player. What a player. Will Evans, unbelievable today. Scored his goal. Was involved in the other goal, obviously being fouled by Vigouroux, being in the right place at the right time. Obviously, Vigouroux then brought him down. We got the penalty from that. Man of the match for me. Absolutely superb. When he receives the ball, he's just looking to, run at it. Someone said in the watch along again, which I'll back their point up if they're watching this, they said, Will Evans is not the most graceful player. He's not the most technically gifted player or the most flair player, but he will chase everything. He will chase everything down. He will run at everything. He will run, even if the ball potentially is a lost cause, he will still chase it down. He will hound it down. He pressurizes the defenders, and he done all of that today. His goal, great header, lovely ball into him, lovely header to the left side of the goal. The goal that we scored the penalty, lovely ball into him, and he just knew exactly what the goalkeeper was going to do, try and bring him down. Did bring him down, got us the penalty. He looks like a very, very good player, Will Evans, and I was really impressed with his performance today. So there is my man of the match, Will Evans, man of the match for me. It was just superb to watch him play like that, and in that form, he really looked good. Moving on to the substitutes then, Robbie Wilmot. I'm going to give an average 6. I don't know. I'm not going to give a 5, actually. I know this may be a bit harsh on Robbie Wilmot, but, it was difficult for Wilmot because I think he come into a game where Hayden Lindley was actually playing very, very good. And he comes onto the game at halftime. He has to keep up with the pace of the game. And at the same time, Leyton Orient were so good in the midfield, which made it so hard for him to get into the game. He didn't really do anything in the game, if that makes sense. And don't get me wrong, I know obviously the substitution is not down to him. He probably didn't say, get me on sort of thing. It was the manager thinking that was the right change. But yeah, I just don't think he got into the game, and I don't think he gave us what we know Robbie Wilmot can give us, because we know how good Robbie Wilmot is on his days of fantastic football on his day. We just didn't see that from Wilmot, unfortunately. But like I said, that wasn't down to him. I think that was down to the manager bringing him on. Moving on to Lewis Collins. I'm just going to give all of these a 6 because I don't think they had enough time to get into the game and really impact the game. So the 6 I've gave to Lewis Collins, Cameron Norman and Declan Drysdale. Like I said, all average performances from me. I think when you get however little minutes they got, it's very hard to come on and impact the game. They all come on at 2-1 Newport as well, which made it easier for their jobs. All they had to do was just defend and stop Leyton Orient from scoring. Drysdale and Norman made a few really crucial blocks. I think Lewis Collins made a block as well from a shot from Theo Archibald. So they were, getting involved in the game. It wasn't like they came on, didn't offer anything full time. They did come on and they did, get involved. They were, throwing bodies at it. And to be fair, that's what you can do as a substitute with very little time being introduced. Moving on to James Rowberry then. Like I said, when I give a rating for Rowberry, I break it down to the selection, the tactics, the substitutions, the in-game management. Selection, I was a bit confused as to why Hayden Lindley was starting. I thought he may have started with... I thought he would have started with Robbie Wilmot, but Hayden Lindley did get the nod, and ultimately Hayden Lindley proved why he got the nod ahead of Robbie Wilmot, and ultimately why he shouldn't have got taken off ahead of Robbie Wilmot. So the selection was good. I can't try and think of who I would have changed. Obviously, Cameron Norman potentially should have started instead of one of the Lewises, but then, people were saying that Cameron Norman is out of form, so that's, acceptable, and I agree with that. He has been out of form. So in terms of the selection, I don't think he's done much wrong. I think the only one pre-match was Hayden Lindley into the team instead of potentially Robbie Wilmot, and we saw how that ended up. Hayden Lindley was excellent. Tactics, I thought we went into the game in the right way, attack them when we had the chance. Obviously, they had a lot of the ball, so it was hard to really implement a style of football onto them because it was constantly Leyton Orient pressure. So it was pretty hard in that aspect. But when we scored the 2 goals, did sit off a little bit, and I did say I'm a bit annoyed we're sitting off, but I can see why, and I can applaud why we're sitting off to, sort of prevent them getting bombarding us with chances, and we're up the pitch and they hit us on the break sort of thing with a lack of pacing behind. So you can see why he done that. Substitutions, again, the Robbie Wilmot one still bemuses me why he brought Robbie Wilmot on. I'm not too sure about that one, if I'm honest. The other substitutions, I think 2 of them were, 2 of them were down to an injury. Will Evans and Priestley Farquharson coming off for Lewis Collins, and Declan Drysdale were both injury related. And Cameron Norman coming on for Wildig, an extra defender at 2-1. You can't really complain about that. So the substitutions were decent, and I thought even his in-game management was decent. I'm not going to, absolutely pelt him. If he deserves to get a decent rating, I'm going to do that. And I think James Rowberry deserves a 6 out of 10. I wouldn't say it was an awful game from James. I don't think he'd done anything particularly bad. I wouldn't say, he totally schooled them, because I think that would be a bit naive to say that. But there was nothing in the game that sort of suggested to me that, oh my God, what was that sort of thing? He managed the game well at times, and he sort of give us hope during the game with different things that he was doing in terms of chances. To be honest, I will put the link in the chat, so if anyone does want to come on, they are more than welcome to. For some reason, the manager has not come out with his press conference, which is pretty annoying when you need to do that for, or when I need him to do that for part of the post-match reaction. So I'll put the link in the chat now, which allows you to come on and have your say on the game, which is perfect timing, because hopefully by the time I do that we get the post-match interview from James Rowberry. Still yet to get it from Newport County YouTube channel, so hopefully we'll get that soon. But in terms of the game, like I said, it's a good result. Was it a great performance? I'm not too sure. I don't think the performance was 100%. I will quickly review the player ratings. Actually, I did forget that. So in terms of the player ratings, then I gave Robbie Wilmot a 5 out of 10. I won't evaluate them. You can go back and watch it if you missed what I said, but I'm not going to, go through it again in terms of what they got and the reason to why they got it. So Robbie Wilmot, 5. In terms of 6 ratings, I gave Nick Townsend, Clark, Farquharson, Lewis, Lindley, Wildig, Bogle, Collins, Norman, Drysdale, and Rowbury all a 6 out of 10 average. I gave Mickey Demetrio, Nathan Mariah-Welsh, and Adam Lewis a 7, and Will Evans I gave a 8, and man of the match for Will Evans. So those are the player ratings for the game. Like I said, really do appreciate your support on the channel. What I might do, seeing as though we haven't got James Rowbury's press conference as of yet, is I might end the stream here, and then when his press conference does come out, I might just do a video on it to give my reaction to it. So if you want to, actually, let me just check something. I will quickly refresh it. If they've not put it out yet, then that's probably what I'll do. I'll do a video on it rather than actually, yeah. So for some reason, his post-match conference still hasn't come out. So what I will do is I will wrap this stream up here. Please do make sure to hit the like button, guys. It really does help the channel. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already as well. Comment your thoughts down below with what you think about the game. So what I will do is I will record my reaction to his post-match interview, as that has not yet come out on Newport County YouTube channel. So please do turn the notifications on, as I will be putting that video out as soon as it comes out. Like, share, and subscribe, guys, and I will see you in the next video, which will be James Rowbury's post-match conference for the game against Leyton Orient. Thanks for watching. Stay well.